Good evening. I'm pleased to declare Quinnipiac University's 2017 commencement exercises for the School of Engineering officially open. Would everyone please stand for the invocation, which will be delivered by Reverend Jordan Lenahan, Catholic chaplain.
Commencement is from the Latin co, meaning with, and mensa, meaning table. Commencement in the medieval European university was the moment in which students, having finished their program, no longer sat at the table with the other students, but instead moved and joined to sit with their professors, with the masters at their table. And though the word means beginning, it really also has this sense of ending. When we celebrate commencement, it's as much as ending as it is beginnings. But then again, maybe that's the nature of the word. As one of the great American philosophers noted, every new beginning is another beginning's end. And when we come to this time of closure, when we come to this closing time, it's now time for you to go out into the world, time for you to go back to the place where you will be from. But you didn't come to this place, this moment, this experience all by yourselves, regardless of the work you put into it. You're in this place and you're in this space because so many other people loved you and cared for you and nurtured you and supported you. And so as we begin, please bow your heads, and for just a moment in that silent place in your hearts, think of all of those who got you to this chair and got you to this place. And to God, however you conceive Him, mention a word of thanks, because it is their love and support that brought you here. Friends and family and faculty coming together made this moment possible. So Lord, be with us now as we commence this celebration of achievement, of endings and new beginnings, and send us your blessing. Amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the platform party, which includes university administrators and representatives, university clergy and deans, as well as our speaker and honorary degree recipient, whom you meet shortly. It's now my honor to present Dr. John L. Leahy, president of Quinnipiac University, who will bring you greetings on behalf of the university community.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you on this joyous occasion. To our graduates, the class of 2017 from our School of Engineering, I want to add a special welcome and my heartiest congratulations to each and every one of you. During your years at Quinnipiac, you have made all of us very proud. While social scientists and the media often portray your generation as excessively self-centered and less concerned about helping others, the Quinnipiac class of 2017 has clearly disproven that characterization. More than any other class, the class of 2017 has volunteered on hundreds of projects to raise money for the sick and the impoverished and to help those who are less fortunate. Many of our graduates participated in community service projects to respond to the needs of local, national, and international communities. The big event is a student-run project that brought together more than 1,500 students this spring to provide direct services such as cleanup and beautification projects for our public parks and other nonprofit organizations. Philanthropic events such as the Q-Thon, Relay for Life, and blood drives engaged thousands of students in raising money and supplies for Children's Hospital, the American Cancer Society, and the Red Cross. Many of our athletic teams participated in Dr. Seuss Day by reading Dr. Seuss stories to children at local schools, libraries, and preschools. And our 19 fraternities and sororities, all of our sororities and fraternities on this campus, participated in community service projects, including service at elementary schools and nonprofits, and they raised thousands of dollars for local and global charities. Many of today's graduates have traveled nationally and internationally to to Nicaragua, Guatemala, Barbados, and the Dominican Republic, to work with community members confronting challenges, including rural school teachers and healthcare workers, families of children with special needs, small business owners, and grassroots organizations. The class of 2017 has also excelled academically. 70 awards will be given out this weekend, honoring seniors for their outstanding success in the classroom. This class has also achieved an extremely high graduation rate and the highest levels ever, the highest in the history of this university, of cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude academic honors. And I have no doubt the School of Engineering is a reason for that great success that we've had. So congratulations. A record number of you are going on to pursue graduate degrees in various fields of study, including law, engineering, and business, and a variety of PhD programs. Today's graduates also displayed outstanding leadership within the Quinnipiac community, and no one better exemplified the leadership roles you took on than Joey Mullaney, who served as your student body president this past year. I very much enjoyed working with Joey, particularly in his role as student representative on the university's Board of Trustees. Class of 2017, as you look back on all of your accomplishments, I am sure you'll agree with me that you would not be graduating today if it were not for the help and support of two very important groups, the faculty here at Quinnipiac and your families. So graduates, please rise and express your appreciation to the faculty seated in front of you and your family and parents seated all around you. Class of 2017 from the School of Engineering, you have certainly left your mark on Quinnipiac University, and for that we thank you. And I predict you will leave an even greater mark on the world that awaits you. Again, congratulations and best wishes to each and every one of you.
I now ask Greg O'Nalia, John Greenleaf, and John Leahy to come forward for the conferral of the honorary degree.
Gregory O'Nalia. Few people are entrusted with the legacy of a venerable family company. Fewer still carry it forward with the same pride and professionalism as you have with O&G Industries, one of the largest and most successful construction services and product firms in the Northeast. As the third generation of your family to lead O&G, you've helped keep the company true to what your grandfather, Andrew O'Nalia, envisioned in 1923, an extended professional family where every worker is appreciated, talent and hard work are noticed, and corners are never cut. There's been much talk as of late about revitalizing our nation's infrastructure. O&G Industries has been doing this for more than 9 decades, building modern schools and hospitals, bridges and highways, airports and rail yards. Your company was instrumental in the expansion of this very university, taking the York Hill campus from lofty idea to reality. In appreciation of your decades of leadership and for proving to new generations of business people that family values and ethics still have a place in American industry, Quinnipiac University is pleased to present you with the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters this 21st day of May, 2017.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, Greg.
It's now my privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, Greg Onelia.
Before I begin my speech, I have to tell you one quick story. I was at my granddaughter's first Holy Communion in West Hartford this morning, and the priest that gave the homily was from India, new to America, and he began his homily by saying, "This is my first American homily. I'll do my best." Well, this is my first American graduation speech. I will do my best. Ladies and gentlemen, President Leahy, Dean Kyle, graduates of the class of 2017, families and friends, thank you for having me here today. But let me first tell you a short story about how this day came to be for me. In early February, I received a letter from President Leahy inviting me to deliver your commencement address and receive an honorary degree at your graduation. I have never been invited to do such a thing before. Needless to say, I was quite excited, and as luck would have it, I was having lunch with my wife, Kathy, on the day the letter arrived. During lunch, I said to her, "Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, imagine that I would be asked to give a commencement address and receive an honorary degree from Quinnipiac University?" As only a wife of 47 years could do, she looked me straight in the eye and said, "Honey, you're never in my wildest dreams." So, sufficiently humbled, I'm here today to thank Quinnipiac University for this wonderful honor, to congratulate you, the graduates, on an enormous achievement, and to offer some advice, albeit from the perspective of a 70-year-old baby boomer, on things that I have observed and that have worked for me in my life. So let me get started. First of all, I want to thank Quinnipiac for this honor. I will wonder until the day I die how and why President Leahy chose me for this. It is truly meaningful to me. You see, my 4 grandparents were immigrants to America. Of a total of 12 children on both sides of their families, only 2 ever went to college, my father and one of my aunts. My father became a civil engineer, Worcester Polytechnic Institute, class of 1942. No family member has ever received an honorary degree, and certainly not from a school of engineering. I think that my father always wanted me to become an engineer, but honestly, I couldn't pass calculus. So Dad, if you're looking down, this is as close as I'm going to get, and I hope you're as proud and as happy as I am. And now to you, the graduates of the first official class of the Quinnipiac University School of Engineering. I stand in awe of your accomplishment. You did something I wasn't able to do, pass calculus. When I was your age, there was a movie that was popular at the time called The Graduate, starring Dustin Hoffman and Catherine Ross. The career advice given to young Ben, played by Dustin Hoffman, was get into plastics. Today, that advice would be get into engineering. I recently read a book by Robert Mancini entitled The Coming Technology Tsunami. If even half of what he predicts comes to pass, there will be a tremendous need for design engineers in areas such as artificial intelligence, robotics, computer and smartphone technology, and renewable energy, all of which are going to require mechanical, electrical, industrial, and software engineers. Consider my industry, construction. Our nation's infrastructure is deficient. To correct years of neglect will require the talents of civil engineers. You are in the right place at the right time. You will be the ones to shape the future. The world will be your oyster. And since I mentioned oysters, and since my wife told me not to be all business and try to be funny, here goes. Do you know how oysters communicate with each other? Shell phones. And now for the advice part of my speech. I have heard and read some truly memorable speeches. One that has stuck with me was given by Admiral William McRaven, at the time the admiral in charge of the Navy SEALs and now the chancellor at the University of Texas. Among other things, he urged the graduates to make their beds every morning. The logic is that if you do this, you will have accomplished something that day, no matter what else happens. And I have to admit that I do this, and he was right. Many days it's the only thing that I do well. Today, however, there are three things I'd like to impart to you that are more straightforward and prosaic. My advice to you comes from my experience, what I have learned or observed during my career. I just mentioned the wonderful opportunities that are predicted for design engineers in the coming years, and now I'm going to offer my first piece of advice, and it may sound contradictory. I'm going to ask you as you embark on your careers to be open to all sorts of possibilities. Another way of saying this is find something to do that you can be passionate about. And it may not be designing circuits or bridges or robots. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to ask your parents and friends to raise their hands if they are using what they majored in college in their life's work. Well, you can see a lot of hands didn't go up. Many have chosen a career path other than what they were educated for. As I said, I always think of engineers as designers, but in my company, we have over 40 engineers that do no design work at all. Some are estimators that assess risk and price work for us. Some are project managers that act as band leaders, bringing all the elements required to build a building or a road together in a harmonious fashion to create the end product. They utilize tools such as virtual design and lean construction techniques, all of which are taught here at Quinnipiac. Some are superintendents who solve the day-to-day problems on a construction site in order to put something in place that wasn't there at the beginning of the day. We hire these engineers for their minds, for their ability to think, and for their judgment. My favorite story about a young engineer who found his passion and followed it involves a mechanical engineer who started with us in our building division in 1970. His name is Ken Mers. His passion, it turns out, wasn't learning how heating, ventilating, and air conditioning systems work. It was learning how a business works. We had just purchased our first computer, an IBM System 3. In those days, you had to write your own programs, and Ken was the only employee that worked for us that had programming skills. But he saw that job as more than programming. He saw an opportunity to learn intimately how a business runs. Since the first applications we needed programmed were financial, he went to night school to earn an accounting degree and became a CPA. He went on to pursue a law degree so that he could understand the regulatory, insurance, and other obligations a business must meet in today's economy. Today, he is one of our top and most respected executives. Not too bad for a mechanical engineer. And by the way, we are hiring. I have business cards with me if any of you are interested. Now, once you've found your passion, whatever it is, my second piece of advice is to commit to it. Be perseverant, don't quit, don't give up in its pursuit. A psychologist named Angela Duckworth would call this never give up attitude grit. In her book, Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, she concludes that what one eventually accomplishes depends more on one's passion and perseverance than on one's innate ability, that grit matters more than talent. The success that our company has had since it was founded in 1923 is a testament to the truth of Professor Duckworth's conclusions. I've already mentioned that my grandparents were immigrants and that very few of my aunts or uncles even attended college. But they found their passion in life, which was to be successful builders, and they worked tirelessly to do that. They had many setbacks through the years. Some were almost existential, but they persevered. And I ask you to keep this in mind as you start your careers. And now that I think about it, my grandparents were in fact PhDs. They were poor, hungry, and driven, which is another way of saying that they had passion and grit. If you have been open to possibilities, found your passion, and put the effort in, you will find success, which leads me to the third and last bit of advice I will give you today. When you have been successful, remember to give something back to your community. The Bible would say, "Those to whom much has been given, much will be expected." My high school's motto, translated from Latin, was and still is, not to be served, but to serve. My father perhaps said it the best. You can't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You have to throw something back. As I got older, I took my father's words to heart. In recent years, there are two things that have given me as much satisfaction as building my business did when I was younger. The first has been the opportunity to bring free health care to those without health care in Waterbury through the Malta House of Care primary care mobile medical van. Since we started that project 5 years ago, we've helped over 3,900 people who had no access to health care. We did that all at no cost to them. I've also helped to guide and sustain the Connecticut Junior Republic in Litchfield, which serves over 2,500 at-risk boys and girls in 11 locations throughout Connecticut, by starting a golf tournament that has raised over $1.5 million to fund their programs, especially important at a time when nonprofits are under pressure because of state funding cuts. And remember Ken Mers, the young mechanical engineer I spoke of who went from HVAC systems to business systems? His latest passion is children's museums. He has started one in Torrington called Kids Play that is now a state tourist destination that is expected to draw in over 50,000 visitors this year. These small endeavors require time and commitment, but they have an outsized impact on the communities we live and work in. I encourage you to remember your community and others less fortunate than you as you go through life, and you will find great personal satisfaction and reward. So in conclusion, my engineering formula for a successful career and a successful life is find something that you're passionate about, pursue it with single-mindedness, and at the end, give something back. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Greg. It's now my privilege to turn over the program to Justin Kyle, Dean of the School of Engineering.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the School of Engineering please approach the stage? Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. John Armando Jr. Leah Ann Austin. Leah Austin is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Computer Science. This award is presented to the Outstanding Computer Science Senior in recognition of academic excellence, student leadership. Congratulations, Leah. Megan Rose Bazada. Christina Bontempi Bennick. Jacob Keith Bjornberg. Kevin Douglas Bloomquist. Jagger Keith Brady. Matthew Joseph Brown. Hey, how you doing? Connor Kennedy Clifton. Timothy Clifton Jr. Allison Marie Coffey. Allison is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Mechanical Engineering Award. This award is presented to the Outstanding Mechanical Engineering Senior in recognition of academic excellence and student leadership. Allison is also the recipient of the Alumni Association Academic Achievement Award. The Alumni Association presents an award to the student from each undergraduate school who has attained the highest scholastic standing and who has completed 90 credits at Quinnipiac University. Congratulations, Allison. Kevin Patrick Krupe. Matthew Angelo Kakuza. Jake R. Sear. Jacqueline Della Greca. Gary Nathan Dominique. Yurius Thumas. Tyler Thomas Dresselhaus. Brian Hunter Eisenberg. Milkus Espinal. Matthew Brandon Fishman. Matthew is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Software Engineering. This award is presented to the Outstanding Software Engineering Senior in recognition of academic excellence and student leadership. Congratulations, Matthew. Kaiser Oliver Guardiola. Madison Lindsay Gagekis. Brian Robert Gill. Diego Alexander Holgan. Emreen Hussein. Yihao Hong. Alexander Jeffrey Christ. Evan Delaney Leclerc. Jonathan A. Lamu. Nivo Yakov Friedman Mantel. Justin Gillis Mateus. Jason Taylor Malillo. Stephen Andrew Mendez. Casey Noel Miller. Casey is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Industrial Engineering. This award is presented to the Outstanding Industrial Engineering Senior in recognition of academic excellence and student leadership. Congratulations, Casey. Christopher Paul Monferrato. Douglas Kent Moskowitz. Nico Escobar Northcutt. Jose Ignacio Perez. Jason Nicholas Rivera. Nicholas Alexander Rizzo. Nicholas Dietrich Rudat. Alexander Raymond Thiminar. James Daniel Webb III. Paige Alexandria Wilbur. Paige is the recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Civil Engineering. This award is presented to the Outstanding Civil Engineering Senior in recognition of academic excellence and student leadership. Congratulations, Paige. I ask the candidates to please rise. Mr. President, I have the honor to present from the School of Engineering candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you.
It is my privilege to introduce our student speaker, Kaiser Oliver Guardiola. Kaiser is a mechanical engineering major from San Pablo City, Philippines.
Thank you, Dean Kyle. School of Engineering, class of 2017. Wow. This is it. Congratulations, we all passed calculus. But in all seriousness, though, can you believe it's all over? I want to congratulate all of you today because I know you all have been through hell and back the past 4 years. All of the long hours we've spent in the basement of the CCE, solving differential equations, trying to figure out what binary is, calculating discounted cash flows, drawing sketches of glorified septic tanks. That's right, that's you, Krupi. Crying over MATLAB, and having to listen to Professor Perez's obsession with Taylor Swift. I am so deeply sorry for all that you have endured during the past 4 years. But I'm glad that it was long and difficult, because if it hadn't been that way, the lessons might not have been as clear. And as we look back today, all I can say is that the Quinnipiac experience has truly been top-notch. Fortunately, I'm here to help you remember all of the wonderful accomplishments that we proudly hold on to today, and hope to convince you that as we go on our separate ways, the journey was well worth it. I hope you know that I see all of you as my family, and in this family, I know that we can overcome any problem sets that the world might throw our way. If you don't believe me, please come find me later, because I will show you Professor Siseski's problem sets. I've got folders. And thinking about it now, I really don't know how we did it, but we sure are here today. We managed our time no matter how loaded our schedules were. We conquered the occasional closed book exam, and we've taken enough notes that if we combine them side by side, it'd probably be enough to stretch to the moon and back. And on top of that, this family has worked so hard to shape the foundations of this wonderful engineering and computer science programs, always keeping in mind the upcoming class that follows us. We may be small in numbers, but you all are living proofs that we are strong in force. When I look at you guys, I just don't see a bunch of nerds, or how we like to call ourselves, engine-nerds. But instead, I really see respected leaders, outstanding innovators, strong athletes, and most importantly, humble human beings. Now that we are graduating and entering the next stage of our life, let's hold on to the values and skills that this university has given us. As engineers and computer scientists, I believe that we must strive to be the solution to the world's problems. I know that we have the ability to design the next best electric car, make renewable energy more efficient, restore and improve urban infrastructures, and even aid in the development of VR. Don't hold back. I hope you all continue learning and continue facing challenges for the rest of your lives. But most importantly, I hope you leave here today appreciating all the time that we've spent together in this wonderful university. On behalf of my classmates, I would like to thank all of the parents, family, and friends that have come to join us today. I love you, Mom and Dad. I'd also like to thank all the faculty and staff for their never-ending guidance and support. I've never heard of any other university that has just been so passionate and so approachable throughout the whole 4 years. And I also personally believe that we owe it to them. And lastly, I would like to thank the class of 2017 for all the memories, and I will surely cherish them forever. School of Engineering, class of 2017. I congratulate all of you once again on your accomplishments today and for the many, many, many more to come. Go Bobcats!
It is now my privilege to introduce Brett Amendola, Quinnipiac alumnus, to officially welcome our graduates as alumni.
I ask the graduates to please rise. It is my honor to stand before you as a member of the class of 1991 and president of the Alumni Board of Governors. I invite you to move your tassel to the left side of your cap. This simple act signifies your transition from student to alumnus and the continuation of your unique, meaningful, and lifelong relationship with Quinnipiac. I'm especially pleased to have you all as fellow alumni. Congratulations.
Before I reintroduce Reverend Jordan Lanahan, who will deliver the benediction, I have a few announcements. Only the platform party and faculty will recess out. We ask the graduates to go behind the stage for a class photo. Families and guests, we ask that you give the graduate a few minutes to have their photo taken before you meet up with them. We ask that you either remain in your seats or go directly to the reception at Rocky Top Student Center next door. Transportation to Rocky Top Student Center for those needing assistance is available. Once outside, you will see signs on the left. Please stand. It is now my privilege to ask Reverend Jordan Lanahan, Catholic chaplain, to please come forward and deliver the benediction.
Once more, I would invite you all to bow your heads. Graduates of Quinnipiac University School of Engineering, as you go forth today, may you know success and joy, love and laughter. May what you have learned here at Quinnipiac University allow you to transform your lives, advance your professions and fields of endeavor, and may you leave the world a better place. May you always be women and men of integrity and of dignity and of character. And may God bless you today and every day of your lives. Amen.